Peace. $1.50. 2G, what it is, you already know. 2G's being 2,000. What it is being the rest. Sounds live. Peace. $1.50. I'm gonna pluck a card. Jack of clubs, you know what I'm saying? Yo, this is the first card of the deck out of 52 cards. Yo, it's so crazy that when I run 52 cards straight through the joint, they starting to match different information along the way. You know what I'm saying? The Nikon D5600 is crazy right now. You know what I mean? When I'm running the whole deck of cards through Twitter, it's so crazy. Like the Lamborghini show up, you know what I mean, every time. You know what I mean? Nothing in front of the Lamb. I know what the Lamb look like and everything. It look like a Revolto, you know what I mean? It look like an SVJ, but it look like a Revolto. You know what I mean? The Revolto Lamb. Yo, the Revolto Lamb is crazy, you know what I'm saying? It's the newest joint. They really got the joint. You really can buy the joint. I do know that. They sell out quick. You know what I mean? So whatever the case, what I'm going to do is, I'm still going to purchase the gimbal. The gimbal is on its way, but I got to wait until the item gets scanned and all that before I got to wait for the item to get scanned and all that before the difference of me making the order and getting the gimbal, actual gimbal. I'm studying the gimbal right now. I'm studying the gimbal because you have to learn how to operate the gimbal. The gimbal is precise. It's based on balancing, you know, it's like a gyroscope type of technology. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to study the gimbal, learn all the functions. You can't learn all the functions because it has so many functions that you can't even learn all the functions, because you can vlog with it, you know, you can hit the button, hit the trigger a few times, and it turn towards you, then hit the trigger a couple times, and it turn the other way. You know, it's crazy like that, you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is, I'm preparing to have my options, you know what I mean? When I get the Lamb, I want to know how to work the gimbal. You know what I mean? I want to know I want to know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm studying right now. I'm studying the gimbal. I'm going to YouTube and figuring out, you know, what features to work and how to put it together and how to take it apart. It's got a Raven Eye technology where you can hit the screen. It's got active focus. Like you can take your phone and program it to follow you in a video. You know what I mean? You can move around, or you know, or if you're gonna, you know, get in the car and pull off, it'll follow the car. You know what I mean? It'll follow the car. If you program to do that, it'll follow the car. But that's not, you know, I'm not that far into, you know, my option yet. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking out if I program it to follow something, you know, that'll be what I would do. You know what I mean? I program to follow me, you know what I mean? Vlog and then get in the car and pull off, or you know what I mean? Something I'll be doing. So yo, I've been going back and forth with the process that it takes to get the gimbal after you return an item. When I returned the drone, it took some time for them to receive the drone. After they received the drone, which they have received it, now they have to scan it, you know, they have to review it and see if it's working, or you know, if it's actually there and stuff like that. If it's the same item and stuff like that. So they have to review it. Then after they review it, then they give you a refund. The way that I did it was I usually put it on my credit card, but I did it different this time. So as soon as I make the purchase, soon as I get the refund, I'll just make the purchase. It won't be, I gotta do anything different. I just make the purchase and get out of there. So that's how I'm gonna do it. But most importantly, it's something that I'm gonna utilize in this transition from zero to infinity. Zero to infinity is based on not actually getting somewhere that's endlessly there, but with a precision of all the amenities. That type of infinity, all the amenities, hot tub, sauna, steam room, 5-star everything, 5-star everything. And, I don't like flying particularly, but I will fly before I wouldn't fly. Flying is a luxury, but you don't want to fly unnecessarily and be in danger all the time and be that comfortable with, getting somewhere fast. So, flying is not always a big thing of mine. I'll catch a train and, drive and stuff like that. I won't just fly just to be flying. Some people fly just to be flying and, be in that type of danger without really, thinking about being safe before they're in danger. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a high profile individual. I'm talking infinity all the time. I'm talking about hip hop headquarters, vaccine distribution. I can't be caught on a plane realistically. I can't be that type of person because I'm making myself valuable and I have to adapt to, being valuable. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be a person that's going to be on a plane of high value of an individual that I would be and just be caught on a plane, for whatever reason. They got all types of terrorists and stuff flying around. It's just dangerous. Plane could malfunction and you just on the plane. It's a lot of dangers involved with flying. But flying is safer than driving. Flying it's more accidents driving than it is flying. But the dangers of being on a plane of high value of a character or an individual put you at higher risk of being in danger. Because when something goes wrong, it goes wrong, and that's the end of it. You may not be, you may not be in the type of danger of being in a car crash, but you're in danger of being completely eliminated out of the equation if you get into a situation on a plane. A plane is not no game, They make it seem like it's a luxury to be on a plane. Plane is not no game. You get on a plane, you completely at risk. The pilot might not like you. Things go on in real life that people take for granted. The pilot may not like you. If you valuable enough, you might be on the wrong plane. And it'd be just that type of flight, It might just be risky enough to just have you on the plane. So I plan on flying one day, but I don't plan on being that type of person. I have to adapt to reality, but I won't be exposed to reality. Like I won't let everybody know I'm getting on a plane and be in that type of jeopardy. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for, jeopardy. Because it puts you in jeopardy. I'm gonna pluck a card. This is the Jack of Diamond. When I see the Jack of Diamond, I think of BMW. Cause when I'm on Twitter, I put BMW every time I get the jacks. Every time I get to one of the 4 jacks, when I'm doing this vlog, I'm saying Jack of Diamonds But if I don't run through this full deck of cards before I run my whole deck of cards, I'll run the remaining cards through Twitter. Like say I do 10 cards and one jack is in the 10 cards, and then I run the rest of the cards through Twitter. I'll put BMW on jacks, every jack that's left. And so I'm just mentioning jacks, BMW now, so you can follow it if you're gonna follow it. You know what I mean? I do have a chemistry that's circulating with the Nikon D5600. It's crazy. When you see the jack and you see BMW, just know that's the type of chemistry I'm generating, like a crazy chemistry that nobody can get past. It's just one of those invincible type chemistries that nobody ever seen, with a deck of cards with the Nikon D5600 on Twitter. Crazy, you know what I'm saying? And everybody just be like watching on, but you know what I'm saying? You have the opportunity to invest in the Nikon D5600, invest in the Nikon, you know, not in the Nikon D5600, in the most elaborate Nikon. Invest in a Nikon that's going to bring back some type of chemistry like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't invest in a tiny little cute camera and you know, it don't get up and go. When I mean get up and go, you know, like I'm vlogging now, the clock is right there. It's 12:45, right? AM. The clock right there, YouTube right there. I have the option to put YouTube on Twitter and have the clock, you know, the clock going. You know, it's just, you just want to have your ducks in a row. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get a camera that's not going to put your ducks in a row. Everything has to be in order. You know what I'm saying? You want a camera that's going to show up like dropping stuff, not dropping nothing physically. Let me plug the card, because I'm not dropping nothing. King of Clubs. Now the King of Clubs brings to mind the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini, you know, if you don't know by now, every time you see a king, you're gonna see Lamborghini on Twitter. So jacks are BMW, kings are Lamborghini. Know every time you see Lamborghini or BMW, you're gonna see a jack and king every time. That's how I'm pushing it. I wouldn't tell you ordinarily, but since I'm getting so advanced in my chemistry, you know what I mean? I'm letting you know, this is how I'm pushing it. You know what I mean? And when I come out, I'm coming out with solid joints, you know, everything, fully loaded, everything, you know what I mean? That's how I'm doing it. That's why I'm trying to learn how to work the gimbal. I'm studying the gimbal on YouTube. They got all types of YouTubers that explain to you how to work the gimbal in detail. So you have to learn, you have to remember it, you know, so when it's real, you know, it'll be real. When I first bought my studio, when I first bought my computer, my monitors, my studio speakers, my microphone, and I put it on all in one place, I studied it on YouTube, and when I studied it, they had people that padded the walls and stuff like that. So what I did was I padded my walls. I padded my walls with moving blankets. So like if you buy moving blankets, you can pad your walls. Just put them up with thumbtacks and pad your walls, so you know you don't mess with the sound of, you know, people in the neighborhood. You know, people in the neighborhood might not like your music or whatever the case. You know, you might play your music loud one day and, you know, get complaints. But it's kind of soundproof where you at. Don't sound like you're in an empty room or something like that. That's what I learned on YouTube. When I learned that, it was like, you know, I applied it to my own situation when I moved here. When I moved here, I applied it to my own situation. Now I have my own studio. Now when you hear me record, it sounds like I'm in a real studio, but you know, it bogs down because I'm not in a real studio. You know, I'm challenged with the locals. You know, when I did Weed Legal, it blew up the old neighborhood that I used to live in to gigantic characters that was tampering with my music and stuff like that. So not going into some dark reality, you know, that's trying to exist in my reality, but just kind of giving you some type of idea. When I went to Times Square and I took Weed Legal to Times Square, and they didn't take it well, what happened was the neighborhood that I was in found out about YouTube and started following me on YouTube and seeing how elaborate I sounded with music and started tampering with my channels and stuff like that, tampering with my websites and things like that. I started reporting them to the police, and you know, it got confrontational to some extent. So it was like, you know, I don't even know them like that. I don't know them to begin with. If they're gonna, you know, take some type of position of challenging what I'm saying in my music, you know, I don't know them the same way. So click on the link, donate. You know what I'm saying? Peace. $1.50. Let me pluck another card. 4 of spades. Peace. $1.50. And what it is, following 2 G's. Peace.